Once upon a time, there was love that blossomed, love that was hot, sizzling, love that was promising. But this love drifted apart. The same love that brought this couple together is now tearing them apart. This is Family Times, and we are talking about bringing back love. Karibu sana. Dush. This love that is, I can't even explain it. But we want to find back love. And we have guests on set. Let me talk about I almost call them the Tabbies, Tabby and Richard. A great couple we have here. Thank you so much for always being with us. You have been together for, is it 21 or 22?
Over 22 years.
Plus over dating. 22 years. I don't know whether you're also counting the days that you were meeting around that corner.
Yeah, sure.
But that is Richard and Tabitha. Maybe you could say hi so that our viewer can know who we are talking to.
Yes.
Okay.
You want to go on?
Okay, sure. Hi, viewer. My name is Tabitha Ouma, and I'm always happy to be here.
Hello, viewer. My name is Richard Ouma. This is my lovely wife, and we are always grateful to be here with you. Karibuni sana.
Yeah, it is always a pleasure to have the two of you. Great experience and fun to be with. Find them some other time. You will notice that they are fun. Lush, we have our guest today. We have a very special couple with us.
Yeah, the ties.
Yes, he's called Tie, but he's not on a tie. So please introduce the ties so that we can, have a show, because we want to find back love.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hi, viewer. Welcome. Today on set, we have a lovely couple. They've been friends for long, and we know that God has been using them in a mighty way. We are here today to listen and share our stories, and we hope that you are going to be greatly blessed. We want to welcome them in a special way so that they can be able to introduce themselves in the best way they can do it. Go ahead.
We want to thank God that you guys have allowed us to be here today. Thank you so much. This is the Ties. My name is Stella, and my husband is called Wycliffe.
Yeah, Wycliffe Tie.
We are glad to be here.
Karibuni.
Thank you again for having us.
Thank you.
Karibuni.
Asante sana, the Ties, for just finding time to come and be with us in this special time in our living room, talking about finding back love. Two major words in that statement: finding and then love. Of course, back is I would use back as a conjunction there, but finding back love, meaning it was lost at some point.
Yeah.
It was
If
there.
you find if you're
yes,
finding
yes.
something, it means that it got lost. It was initially there, but somehow it got lost somewhere.
Yeah.
So you're finding it. You're looking for it again. Yeah.
Yeah, and we are talking about finding back love in the context of a family. Richard, finding back love.
Yeah, finding back love. Was it there in the first place? If it was there, where is it now? So that you go around looking for it. This is our main subject today. We need to explore. We have couples who probably are in that place where they feel they are so detached. Everyone has gone their own way. They are not together anymore in terms of love.
Yeah.
And therefore this is a subject. And this is what we need to find out. So that we come to a place where we know that love can be lost, but we can get it back. Yeah.
Once it was there, but
Yes.
now it's somewhere.
Yes.
Yeah, but you have to find it.
That's true.
I hope it's not the case of a needle in a haystack. Now, I want us to start the discussion immediately, but now we have three scenarios. We have the first scenario, separated, living together. The second scenario, separated, living apart. And then the last scenario is separated. I don't want to use the word divorced in the last scenario, but separated and remarried. Are we still finding back love? Tai, would you want to talk about this finding back love? Is it possible for couples to fall out of love?
Okay, I must say that it is very, very possible, more especially in the current world we are living. Sometimes you might find that you got married today and your spouse gets a transfer and goes to some other place. So there is no that time of bonding and maybe growing together to an extent. So you find in such a case, people start growing apart. So there is a possibility of people falling out of love. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, indeed. Falling out of love is possible if especially care is not taken, because anything that has a beginning can definitely have an end, and the end can be something that has been brought by what we have done or what we have failed to do. Yes, so there is possibility of people falling out of love.
Yeah, maybe Dave, if I might add, when you are looking for love, there's that aggressiveness of looking for something. And then on the process, when you get that precious thing in your hand and somehow you get comfortable, you know, you get comfortable, you relax. So there are things that you used to do, all of a sudden you stop doing them. So there is that tendency of someone will want to feel like this gentleman or this lady doesn't love me anymore. So you start falling apart. Yeah.
You've talked about the mad rush for the love, and you've reminded me so many things. 11 years back, I could sacrifice a lot of things, but as you've said, you get comfortable and relaxed. Dush, is it possible for the two of us to just fall apart? Or
Yeah. First of all, we are human beings.
Yes.
We are not perfect. We try to bear each other, being that we are from different backgrounds, raised differently. Maybe there are some situations we can't handle the same way or thinking positively. Maybe a situation might come and I might not have the answer, or we might differ.
Yeah.
Then we start just growing apart. Yeah, it happens. Yeah.
Tabi, no longer interested. Interest imepotea.
Yeah, that happens. There are so many reasons that can bring that up. For instance, if you're maybe financial problem can also make you people, if maybe I had a job and one reason or the other, or let me use him, if he had a job and for one reason or the other, he loses it. I'm not saying that I loved him because of money, no. But we're talking about reality. There are some couples, sincerely, who will be apart because of money. Number two, because of conditions. You can have a disease that can also make you lose it. I have a family friend of mine. This is real story. They were so much in love until a disease struck, and that is it, you know. So there are some people who love you because of conditions. So, yeah.
So the question here is, maybe for the sake of our viewer, is what is this love?
You see, love is like the glue that holds the marriage.
True.
When it begins to weaken because of circumstances or situations, then our marriages are affected.
Yeah.
It is love which brought us together.
Yeah.
That is where we started from. Do we really lose love? This becomes a question I keep on asking. Do we really lose love? Even when in separation, are we not hurting? Are we not really, are we not being affected so much because we are losing love? And what is it that will hold me back not to pursue it or to protect it right from the way it was in the beginning? And situations which have been explained here are such that those are the dangers that put us in a situation where we may lose it. Love is not something we lose. God has never lost it on us. Yes, even when we have sinned, He loved us even before we sinned, and was ready to die for us, knowing that we are going to sin. And therefore, we go back to rekindle. We go back to that place where we started from. I mean, if I said, for good or for worse, in disease or in health, then what is it that will actually bring us apart? all mistakes that we make here, how do we reach out to get it back? Because this is what I think is core in actually having us bonded and moving together.
Yes. So you are saying that there are situations or there are there are things that can make us, can preoccupy our minds.
Yes.
And Tabi hinted on finances that can really make people to move
Even
apart.
when you have maybe you've come into this family and it's so much extended and a lot of things are happening. Sometimes you might be tempted to draw attention to the other side, leaving maybe your family or so at times some things happen.
And then I think we watch a lot of TV.
Yeah.
Right now, everybody has gone to the States. Everybody has gone to wherever. Why? Social media. So you see Dave living a certain kind of lavish life and you're thinking, see my life. And you know, so that also makes you start doubting. That is if you're not a mature
am I at the right place?
Yes.
You ask yourself such a question. Yeah. There's also something that I was feeling that I can bring that the falling out. Like for example, you've been dating this person that you love so much, but there's an hidden character of this person that you don't know. So when you get now to reality, you see when reality dawns, you get to the house and things are different.
Ground different.
Yes, things are different, and you're like, is this the same person that I was dating? You know, now when that happens and this person now is the him or the her, maybe use the her, I don't know whether that is correct saying that. So that separation now becomes, you know, you are not speaking from the same page. You are in different places. Yeah, you're walking different paths. Yeah.
Okay. Tai, you have been quiet. Are you trying to find back love?
Get to
Well, you know, she has mentioned something that has reminded me about the past 1 year and a few months. We were forced to be together for the longest period due to the coronavirus. and because you can't go out, you can't go to work, you are in the house with this lady or this man, and you're getting to know her properly now. Some characters cannot be hidden for long.
Yeah, true.
And so when you get to know this person properly, you are like, did I make the biggest mistake of my life? And when you ask yourself that, you are seeing all the reasons that you indeed made the mistake.
And they come, the reasons come.
Yeah. And so
when you're looking for something,
you will surely find it.
And so when you get these reasons, you the only option out is to, you know, like go your ways. And maybe if it happens that you have someone else who is giving you maybe what you think is proper.
Lacking.
I like the choice of your words. What you think.
Then you are bound to leave your love and go for this other thing that you
By the way, Dave, maybe to add on what my husband, the corona thing, it has made so many people realize others, their spouses, the other side of their spouses, and even the character of their children. You know, there is that time that maybe we spend most of the time outside than in families, but this time around it was totally different. So you are in the house throughout. From Monday to Monday, people are working from home, so there are things that are coming up that you didn't expect or you didn't know about your spouse. But I want to believe maybe my husband, were they positive? We'll come
back to that. We'll come back to that. You know, we are still trying to lay the ground, and I'm still trying to get into the reality of it. But let's talk about distance.
Yes.
Is there a problem with distance?
There is.
Yeah, especially for the newlyweds. It's usually so tempting, and you find someone working in town and the other person some other places. So even connection and bonding, it can't happen over the phone. At times it needs one-on-one for you to build it on a higher level. But when you are in different places, I think sometimes we create temptation, and at times...
But not all. We've also had very many successful Christian families that have stayed apart for years, and God has really still brought them. That love is still there. So it depends on what you want. Just like Tai said, what you think. Like for instance, maybe if I have issues with him, then I get somebody else. I think that he can provide what Richard cannot provide. Then we'll be misled.
In many instances, these things are very superficial. Because probably it's just one place or one area where this other friend of yours is better than me.
Right.
Or there's just one other area where she's better than you. Of course, people are endowed differently. But you want to sit down and compare because there's room for you to sit and think because you are apart, you are away from each other. And as you say, people watch TV and there's a lot of negativity from the TV, especially against marriage. Especially against marriage. I want to say that again. Especially against marriage. Every other thing that could be good out there is there for you to watch and learn from.
True.
And therefore your mind then becomes unstable and you begin to wonder, you begin to, have your eyes darting left, right and center. You're thinking you're seeing anything better than what you already have.
Right.
No.
Okay,
Now,
maybe if I add on what Richard has said, there is this scenario, you got married and immediately you went separate places. Someone is working in Nairobi and my husband worked in Kisumu. I didn't get to know what my husband loves most and what he doesn't love. And then after a long time, we are being brought together again. So I love cooking rice in my house and beans. My husband doesn't love rice.
I know, that bit I know.
Yes.
He loves the other one.
The other one, he loves chapati. And I'm like, the time I used to cook rice is shorter than doing chapati. Why can't you do rice? And I didn't love ironing clothes. He's here, he wants his clothes to be ironed, and I don't like it. So there is that such things bring a lot of problems. When you come now, after a long time, you're coming now together, it brings issues. And that is why we encourage, if it is possible, people to live together. To just learn from the word, go learn each other, and you will know what some of the things that you'll compromise, to go ahead.
Before now you get now to before now you get to finding back love, there is some season here. What happens during this season? You like you said, character, you realize that this person is just, I don't know how to explain that bit of character.
You change
realize
friends,
that
you also
there is
get
no longer this attraction. So what happens apart from the loneliness that you experience, because you see this is your body.
A
lot of things used to talk about so many things. You used to talk about, in fact, 90% of what you used to talk about is purely nonsense, but it used to excite you. But now you are lonely. What other experiences do these people go through?
Your lifestyle can also change. For instance, if Richard is not giving me the attention, and then I have another group of friends, and they have a different lifestyle, I will definitely be focused more on them. So lifestyle changes, lifestyle can also include habits, You also start doing things that you never used to do,
Again, if you have a family, maybe comprising of children, I think children might be suffering because I'm on the other side and you're on this other side. The children are just confused in between here.
And
they always suffer the most.
Smell that there is a drift. Yes, Richard.
Then we probably sometimes we bandy the word character, all the times we throw it out. Well, I know that many times our spouses don't know our characters. When things blow up, you say, you haven't known me. You will see what I'm going to do. In other words, there are things which are hidden. And probably each one of us has them. It's just that they're not on display because now the situation is different. We are now married. And I'm still holding some of them behind me. So what you see is not what you get most of the times. And it takes a long time before we come to realize that this person is this person. What I see in him is exactly what he is, and he doesn't change. But the moment there's a change from the normal and the routine, then something is suggested here, that things are not what they are. And for some reason, this normally surprises us. for some reason just surprises us. Because the characters which we normally show, or the ones we expose to our spouses, are kind of coated. The real me is the real me. I just know it by myself. But the next person doesn't know who the real me is. This extra real me that is not known is the biggest problem here. It is the challenge that we have. Because the moment I begin to expose it, the person now realizes, I don't know this guy. This is a strange person. This is not what he does. He doesn't do it this way. Something has gone here. I need to get it back. The effort to get it back is what we normally don't have courage for. Because it goes, and you see it going, and things have changed, and we are not really trying to make efforts. Or if we indeed do, then are we getting the right responses back? Do we get the signs that this is now beginning to work? We have to retrace. Go back to the place where we started from. Some people just thrive on lies.
Yeah, true.
Some people just thrive on lies. A very wrong thing. It is good for us to get to know what we are in for in our lives. I want to say here that, when we started living together, we had a conversation. We said, this life is not going to be the same.
Yeah.
Things are going to change. Yeah. That sneaky little evening, one or two others that we used to have is no longer here. Here we are going to live the reality of what life is all about.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe I tackle that question of during this time of silence.
Yes.
There's that separation, people are not talking in the house, things are on the standstill. There's a possibility of someone developing depression. Someone that I love, I want to use my case. I love my husband that when we have a problem, I'm stressed. By the way, I am literally stressed. I don't like as in we don't talk in the house. He's my friend and he knows that. So when we don't talk...
How do you feel when she's stressed?
He must be feeling very okay. You can see him just touching his chin. I mean,
stress does not show in the face. But when your friend is hurting, you're also hurting.
Yeah.
The only problem is that sometimes, the pride in us, you don't want to show that you are feeling sorry for the feelings that you have made your partner to go through.
But the way pride is so big, it's not easy to swallow.
Yeah.
It's one of the biggest tablets. Continue.
But somehow we by the grace of God, we somehow find a way out to solve our issues.
The grace melts it.
Yes. But just to go back on the topic of, on the issue of what happens during the period that one has fallen out of love, I think there's a lot of noises from without.
Wow.
And somehow, if you listen carefully, you will find what resonates with how you are going or the experience that you are having. And so if care is not taken, you are bound to either fall apart further or maybe look for a way of getting it back. So this is the point where if you have friends who encourage you to go out and have fun, or maybe you drain yourself in alcohol so that you can forget the stress you are going through, or someone can even tell you to find another love. If it's a lady, you are told there's a man I know.
Yes.
You can try out and see if he can make you happy. Stuff like that. So there are many things that can happen during this period that we have fallen out of love.
Yeah.
Stella, you are still making a contribution.
Yeah.
Then I was just asking Ty for his reaction, and then he ended up making his contribution.
Yes, I was talking about...
But we are coming back to you.
Okay.
Because we are still trying to find this love. We've talked about so many things, but we are coming back immediately after this short break.
Have you finally decided to live a healthier lifestyle? Or are you on the verge of making that decision?
Yes, I am. Actually, I have cleared my fridge of all unhealthy foods and I'm left with greens here and rice. This I will eat daily. Perfect.
Great job!
No. That alone isn't healthy. There are a variety of plant-based foods that will give you all the nutrients that you need. Oh, for real? Which ones?
Are you stuck as well? Watch the brand new season of Fast Foods Made Fast and learn about all the nutrients you need from a plant-based diet.
This is really good.
Fast Foods Made Fast, every Sunday at 8 p.m. on Hope Channel, Kenya.
Welcome back, viewer. This is Family Times, and just in case you're joining us, we are talking about finding back love. We have tried to explain that sometimes it happens. This love that once brought two people together is now making them apart. And some of the reasons that these beautiful people have given here would be distance, finances, among other things. Before we went for the break, Stella and Wycliffe gave us very good nuggets. And Stella, you were talking about something. What was it again?
Okay, I was trying to explain that I married a friend. And for example, when we have an issue and he's not talking to me, sometimes I feel so bad. So I was talking about that depression. Someone might develop depression whenever you're not getting something that you've been getting. There is that dose that you've been getting and you're not getting it now. So to me, I was feeling it is not good to me. I don't feel okay. And that is why I always pray that we don't get to such a situation. Let him know that I get affected whenever we have a problem. So we will have to find...
Yes, continue.
Yes, we will have to find a way of not letting that happen. I'm not saying that it doesn't happen. It does. In real life, it happens. And sometimes worse. But that is why I'm saying that we pray that we don't get to such a situation. Let him know that I get affected, especially when we are not in good terms.
And especially when you're not getting the dose that you normally get.
Yes.
And let it be known even to our viewer that this is the reality. It happens even to our spiritual leaders, we call them pastors. It happens, and that is why we are talking about it. And hopefully at the end of this, we'll have some hope.
Yes.
Let's continue talking about what happens during this you call it silence. Linda, your spiritual life during the process that we are now falling apart, because at some point it has to happen.
Yeah, by the way, when you're in church and you're committed to working for God and you have a distraction.
Yes.
Definitely a lot of things. Okay, sorry. You have a distraction. Things happen by the way. Your spiritual life always goes down because number one, you're so much frustrated. You can't even pray. You can't even read your Bible.
And remember, you used to pray together. Now you're no longer.
Yeah, we are not praying. I come home 1 to 1 to, and then I go to bed. Yeah, then our spiritual life starts growing down. Maybe if I was coming to church early, Sabbath school gets me there. I start like maybe oversleeping and coming late. At times I just miss church. But our spiritual life, by the way, is always hit by this.
You even tend to decide to go to another church. I don't want to fellowship to the same church.
Because you can't imagine.
I can't fellowship in the same church that Dave is fellowshipping. And we are not even talking.
He's there making announcements and telling people, why are you not happy?
Look at him.
Yes, right.
Yeah.
I remember there's a time we fell apart with my wife. And just talking on the spiritual life. So this morning she wakes up and she starts singing. And then I tell her, you're making noise. You know? Well, to me it was noise. Yes. Because now, you know, we are not in good terms. So I don't want to listen to that voice. You know?
Yes.
And what I experienced then, even prayer, it doesn't make sense. You know, it doesn't make sense because the things that you're praying about are things that are hurting you. So you're like, I don't even think this lady is even sincere with the prayer. so it really affects our spiritual, because you start judging, you fall out even. Sometimes you don't even want to come early during the time of prayer. You want to come so that you find them asleep.
Yes.
Your wife and children are asleep. So that really affects the Christian aspect or the spiritual aspect of a family.
There's a routine that we have. We developed from the word go when we started living together. Like in the morning there's a hug. Good morning, then it's time to pray. Now this time around, there's no hug. There's no anything. You want to, I want to poke him and tell him, wake up, we want to pray, you know. And even those prayers.
And then Dave, there's a lot of anger.
Yes.
Yes, everything he does is annoying. You just don't see anything good. Remember before, anything he said was so funny. A friend of mine says, when he was dating the husband, anything he said, it was so funny that anytime he'd always say, hey, that's so funny. Wait, when all these things start, anything he says is annoying.
Yes.
You know, so you have a lot of anger. And when you have a lot of anger, all the things that the ties have said, all the things that you've said, don't make sense. You can't fellowship together, you can't shop together, you can't do
even
anything.
it reaches an extent where maybe when you're living in a house, someone sleeps on the other side.
Yeah, because you don't see anything good. Why would I sleep with him? You know, that's why you decide, okay, if you have 2 bedrooms, for instance, you can go to the other bedroom, he sleeps
On
in
the
the
couch.
or even on the couch, you know. So all these things.
Richard, as you contribute, do you also have moments of kneel by mouth?
Yeah, they're there. They're there. We have them. And oftentimes when they happen, it's not because there's anything major, any big reason for that. You probably have just woken up, a mood is not very good that day, and you're bound to shut up for a little while. And it's not a usual thing in the house, you know. And sometimes the reading is that this guy has an issue. Yes. And from that little thing, when she goes kneel on mouth as well, then we already are building some rift between us.
Exactly.
Love is very delicate. Love needs to be built every other day. Love needs to be upped every other day.
Not with expensive things.
Not necessarily an expensive thing. I don't think love is very expensive.
It's not,
but in terms of how we live. But you know, the cost of love is that one which made God give his only begotten son. And therefore, it's such a big thing. How we build it, how we maintain it, how we hold on to it is the key thing to that. This is not unique, our viewer. It's not something that's happening only in a few houses. It happens across the board. It's all over. Because marriage has that. It is bombarded from all corners by so many things. This happens, but there is always a way out. We can't give up on it. It happens. Does it really? I'm not sure about you people, how you live, but I believe that these challenges are there in every family. They come.
When I used to, like, of course, we thank God for this far he has brought us. I think I used to be the queen of kneel by mouth, right? I would get so, I would shut up.
Actually, it's the queens who are champions.
I would look at him and I would like, what did I get myself into? But you know, like, as you grow into this marriage, you learn to change. Because at the end of the day, you're stuck with him. Okay, not stuck, but this is a ministry.
For better or for worse.
Yeah, this is a ministry, whether it's good or whether it's bad. So you decide, okay, fine, if he's going to step on my toe, whether he knows it or not, if he's going to step on my toe, this is how I'm going to react, you know. So at times you crack a joke out of it. You're like, hey, look, the principal is now doing this. And you make joke out of it, and you know, because one person has to be the bigger person. There has to be somebody who's going to break the ice. Don't even mind that like, for instance, our case, I shouldn't mind about breaking the ice all the time. I shouldn't mind about him breaking the ice all the time, because our main goal is to live peacefully. You understand? So
as we now, the worst case scenario. I talked about 3 scenarios. Scenario 3, separated and remarried. Can we still find back love? And how are the children affected in this case?
Okay, your spouse has decided to walk out and he's gotten another love somewhere. Is it possible for me to get him back? I might say that somehow it is delicate, but it is not impossible. It is possible with God. In such a case, I want to give my maybe how I will react to it. To me, I will feel it is something that is delicate, that I need to fast and pray about it, even before I tackle it. I pray and ask God that this is someone that you gave me, and it did not come to my life by chance. Yeah. He came because you had purpose that we will live together, the two of us. So I'm requesting that God, in the name of Jesus, bring him back to me, because this is not my fight.
Yeah.
It is God's fight. It is him who is going to, it is him who changes people's lives. I will never change someone's life. So I will fast and pray about it. And then maybe at the same time I can decide of using someone. A friend that I know, if there is a button he can touch in my husband is life, he might think of maybe giving us maybe come back again. Yeah, that is, I want to give an example of maybe I can handle such a case. So what I'm saying in just a simple term is that it is possible you can get your spouse back. Yes.
So this, you are next, but remember this doesn't just start from, I mean it doesn't come from nowhere. It begins from somewhere. Infidelity.
That's one of them, yeah.
Yes, Lush.
How does God operate with us? If we just try and look at how God operates with us, by the way, he died for us while we are yet sinners. His love is just constant. We sin, we do a lot of things, but he still has that heart of just finding us once again and just embracing us. I know that God can still work miracles. We serve a God who instituted this marriage.
Yes.
And if it's his business to bring him back, by the way, just talk to him. And God has the best way to bring that person back into our lives. Maybe it might not be as the same as the initial one, but God will see you through. If you ask God for anything,
Strength.
like in the Bible, Philippians 4:13 says, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Just trust upon the Lord and he will lead you through.
And Dave, it is marriage. It is not love that is lost.
Yes.
So love is key, because you find that, yes, he's remarried and he has kids outside, but he still probably stays in touch. Why? Because love is still there. So love is something that is powerful that we cannot.
It is.
Yeah, but when infidelity comes in, definitely there's some bad spirits.
Yes.
Spirits that come in. We are told that the spirit can come in so many forms. If it's poverty, if it's revenge. Because some people, for instance, if a spouse moves on and gets married, they will also say, hey, even me, I have my life. I'll also want to revenge and go and get married. If God has blessed you with kids, look at where the kids will remain. The kids will just be, you know, they won't even have any direction. Yes, but these are things that really happen to us, dear viewer. I do not know what you're going through, but keep hope. It's never too late.
You have jumped the gun, Linda and Tabi, and so we go with the question now, how do we find this, how do we find back love? But we haven't talked about how the children are affected in this whole scenario.
Hey, maybe if I can say something, maybe the father used to bring some things in the house, maybe the basic needs. At times, it reaches a time that he forgets. And the children suffer. Imagine if they don't have food, or if they can't be paid for school fees, they're now at home. How will the child feel?
Sure.
Richard?
Dave, you'll excuse me on this one. I want to go back a step. You asked a question about infidelity.
Yes.
And I think that this is one of the biggest challenges we have in families. What happens when infidelity gets into our marriages? Are we able to go above that for the sake of our own families? Because this is one of those that for some reason has been bandied around. It's the biggest thing. One of the two in the family has gone into that, in infidelity. How do we live with this?
How does it even come about?
How does it come about?
Because
where's the
no one
genesis?
here will just walk out of their houses and say, today I'm going to be unfaithful.
But
Yes.
it's always a blame game. You know, most of the times you find a spouse or a Tabitha will start moving out and starts blaming Richard.
Yes.
You know, I think it starts with me. I decide I want to go out with another man. If I have not decided, whatever Richard does to me, I will not go out.
Yeah.
So what makes this person say, I'm going out with another? Is it because you're not getting
Maybe there are some things
the full
that you
dose
used to
that
do.
she was talking about?
Yeah.
Or what is happening?
What is
There are some things that
You used to do, you're not doing them right now. And I'm feeling now lonely and I'm feeling not loved. So I want to try out. Yeah?
Sorry, Linda. Let's come back to the real thing.
Yeah.
Let's look at infidelity.
Right.
And explore that one.
Right.
For the sake of ourselves and our viewers. What is it that makes you go out?
Myself.
You know, there are situations in
Yes.
families.
Yeah.
And we probably diagnose them differently to the extent that you come to that place where you make the decision.
Yeah.
Is it because there's that gentleman who walks here and is a little
Gives me
different from
attention.
me, gives you attention? Or is it just something that just happened, just like that? Suddenly it just happened. Is it something that takes a while
It's a
to build to
process.
that place where Richard decides that now he wants to look to another
Or-
woman?
yeah,
You know, these are things that get into our families.
Yes.
We must round them up. We must come to a place where we can go above them or we can forgive instead of, retaliations. Because I may fall to a temptation.
Right.
And then the understanding is that because he has done that, now I also need to do the same.
it.
We want to be at the same.
Moto.
It's a revenge. Yes, it's a revenge.
Yeah.
Do we have to go there?
Richard, remember the very first episode, Family Time Season 3, we discussed in depth. Maybe our viewer, you can go back to that where we talk about infidelity in depth. 1 hour of infidelity.
Thank you.
I want us to talk about how to survive this season, maybe to help someone out there, how we survived during this period. Who would want to go first? The first thing I remember is you have to identify the problem.
Yes, true.
Yes.
I will want to make a move. I want to make a move and maybe try doing something that I was doing that I decided to do wrongly. So I make a move. I want to try to at least get him back. Yeah, I want to provoke him so that he can feel this lady is coming back, and I also need to do something about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tai, where does prayer sit in this?
Well, we are talking about a Christian. Prayer is very paramount. But if it's someone who is not a Christian, then I think prayer may not really have meaning in this case. But nevertheless, whether you are a Christian or
they can
not,
start the prayer.
Yes.
whether you are Christian or not, prayer is essential because we can reach the hearts of even the unreachable through prayer. But I would want to say that how to survive this episode or this season may vary from one person to another.
Yes.
One may find keeping busy, doing something with him or herself may help to take away the mind of what would maybe come out negatively by involving yourself in maybe some group, some help group. You can do some reading. You can ask people, maybe your friends who have gone through such experiences, how they managed to go through them. They can be able to help out. So I think the point here is talking out. The first thing, by talking out, you have gone a step of solving the problem, because you share out, and they say that a problem shared is half solved. So if you share with friends or with family, you are able to be helped. Yeah.
You can also see a counselor if possible, so that they can help you on ways to deal with some situations.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you be careful the people that you share
Yes,
with.
yes.
Not everybody will give you the
So you
best
become your
advice.
friend.
it is just a good idea to share with a believer, especially who has gone through that. I always tell people my mother is the best person who can advise on. My mother my mother is a widow. So, like, if you have lost your husband, it's easier for her to talk to you. But of course, not all cases are the same. So when you share it with somebody, a brethren especially, who has gone through that, a believer, it will be really easy to go through it. So be very careful whom you share with all your problems.
Yes, Richard.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of strength. Firstly, to admit that there is a problem and to accept that there is a problem. Many times we get in situations where, firstly, we don't see ourselves as probably those who have created the problem. We always like to push it on the other people.
True.
But doing a self, evaluation, searching yourself over a certain matter. If you start from the place where you believe that I may be the one who has caused this and I'm just ready to sort it out, then you reach out, you speak, you talk, so that it is something that is understood, that there is an effort here for us to sit down and discuss. Families do talk, and we make it a practice to talk and to be open in what we talk. Many times, because we are not doing that as often as it's supposed to be, then we lose track of that, and sometimes it becomes very, very difficult for us to bring ourselves back to the place where we can talk and have a soul.
Now we want to wrap it up, and this is the moment now we give hope to our viewer out there. In a minute each, let me start with Tai. What hope can you give to our viewer?
I would want to say that not all is lost. Whether you are a believer in God or not, there is something at least you believe in. You believe in what brought you together, and that can be able to help you get that which you have lost back.
Okay. Thank you. Stella?
Okay, viewer, don't think that you're the only person who is in such a situation. We want to tell you that some of these things are very normal to happen, but there is hope that you can still get that love back. Those ones who don't believe in God, I want to tell you that this is the best thing you can do. This is the opportunity. You can seek God and He will answer your prayers, and at least you will start another new life. So it is possible you can get your love back.
Thank you. You want to read that verse now?
I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. God is still in the business of helping you and saving you. Even us here, we have problems, but we put God first. Remember to always put God first. Even if you don't believe in God, remember that He's the one who created you and He has the solutions for all your problems. Share with God.
Sante Tabi.
Wow. Dear viewer, I just want to encourage you, just have patience. And marriage won't be fun if you don't have challenges. Later on, you'll be laughing and saying, we went through that, right? And you'll be encouraging somebody. I just want you to be encouraged and keep up, just keep on believing in God, and all will be well.
Rich?
Yeah, everyone. She has just mentioned that without it, probably marriage would not be fun. It is not fun. It needs, resolutions. It needs help. It needs all that. We have a place where we can really go to. I mean, for us as Christians, we know that there is God whom we believe in, and we talk to Him when we have issues. That is my strength. It can be your strength too, my viewer. And you can build on that, but you must find common ground, because there is still hope for every family.
There's a song that says, I know whom I have believed in, and I'm persuaded that He's able to keep that which I have committed. You have committed to love. You have committed to this family. You have committed to that love.
Yes.
Keep it. Treat your partner with kindness. Share the lively moments that you used to have. Rekindle it. Bring it back. We have talked about so many things, finding back love, and we have realized that it is possible to sometimes just fall apart because of some of the reasons that we have talked about. And during this process, as Stella said, you may drift and become stressed and even depressed. Why should you go through that? And yet there is a God who can listen to you when you pray. Above all, never give up on intimacy. Think about the things that you used to do together, because as our favorite verse says, I can do all things, everything, including bringing back, sparking that love again. So thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much, The Ties, for sharing your ideas and sharing your experiences. As always, Richard and Tabby, asanteni sana. And of course, my lovely wife, that friend of yours, keep us updated. See you next time, viewer, for yet another exciting show, same place on Family Times. God bless you.